After hearing us whine about some of the problems we've been having with the rocks in our yard, a viewer reached out to us and asked us if we'd used this before. We said we hadn't, but we're definitely going to give it a try. This Dexpan is an expanding grout, so what you do is you drill holes in rocks or concrete, and you drill the holes about a foot apart. They have to be 1.5 inches in diameter. You mix this up according to the label, and different types of Dexpan are temperature dependent, and so you want to make sure that you buy the correct Dexpan product for the temperature that you're going to be using. Dump this down inside, and within 2 to 8 hours they say you should start seeing cracks, and after about 24 hours everything's busted apart. We have some pretty big cracks here, and I didn't go too deep with the holes. I didn't really need to. I'm just trying to shear off the top here. There's no way I'm going to be able to remove this entire boulder. This thing's huge. This product did require that you drilled 1.5 inch holes. What I did is I used the 3/4 inch bit first, drilled the holes down about 8 or so inches, and then I went back with a 1 inch bit and drilled them out, and then of course cleaned out the holes with the air. But I'm still impressed that it still busted it up even with a 1 inch hole. Hopefully enough damage was done to these rocks so I can hurry and rip them out. I'm going to use a tractor first and try to scoop them out. If that doesn't work, I guess I'll use the jackhammer. The Dexpan absolutely worked for the small rock. We were able to get that one out. And in this really huge rock, even though we only used the 1 inch holes, it did put some pretty big cracks in here, but it wasn't enough to break it apart. And so now that I have a little bit more confidence in the Dexpan, I invested in an 1.5 inch drill bit, and I'm gonna go round 2 on this thing, drill the 1.5 inch holes, and then put the Dexpan in. Hopefully that'll finish breaking this up. Hopefully in 24 hours we see some pretty good results. And in a few of the cracks I had a little bit extra. It's hard to judge how much stuff to use, how much of the Dexpan to use. So I threw a little bit in the cracks. We'll see if that does anything. The 1.5 inch holes absolutely made a huge difference. This thing's pretty cracked apart. But I'm sure I'm going to have to do a lot of jackhammering. So I'll get to it. That last rock that I pulled out, that little bump there, is actually one of the pieces that was standing up above the ground. And so now that I have that out, I can actually backfill all this, but I'm going to try to get out as much as I can. I'm not going to kill myself, but I'm going to try to break up some of these other rocks that have been broke up with the Dexpan, pull them apart, see what else I can get out of here. And so technically I've kind of won here, even though the rock is probably still 60-70% intact. I have no idea how big this thing is, but it's not moving. Well, I've run out of daylight, so I'm going to start this project up in the morning. Hopefully I can get all the rest of this rock out. Shouldn't take too long. And then it's just backfill all the sod over it, throw some topsoil on it, seed it, and hopefully never hear from this rock again. I just spent about the last 25 minutes or so jackhammering, trying to knock off some of the high spots. This spot has actually become a rock quarry. And the problem is with these big rocks is you never know how deep they are. And so I've kind of got a lot of the high spots knocked off. I'm going to go ahead and put the topsoil back over it. And I'm going to go ahead and call this rock a draw, because I could probably be out here for weeks sitting here jackhammering at this thing or buying more and more Dexpan. So I'm going to go ahead and cover up all this dirt. And hopefully this rock goes away. If it ever shows up again in the future, I guess I'll have to jackhammer a little bit at a time until I can get it back below the surface. This is about as good as it gets for now. There's a couple inches of soil over the rocks. So what I'm going to do, we're going to get a lot of rain in the next few days. So I'm going to let the rain kind of soak all this dirt and sod in, see where all the low spots are after that. Then go and put some topsoil over the top, seed it. And now that this is gone, I don't have any spots in the yard that I have to worry about my mower blades hitting any rocks. So I'm absolutely happy with the Dexpan and with VEVOR's jackhammer and taking out this rock. I just don't have another week or so to sit here and keep redoing the process, take the rest of this rock out. So I'm gonna go ahead and concede. The rock's underneath the ground. So I'll go ahead and get some grass planted. Hopefully it'll go away for a while. And there was a few people that were commenting on the building saying, well, why did you not put in a pole barn, or why didn't you do something else? And this is why. Our entire property is covered with these huge rocks, and it actually took my wife and I longer to dig the 9 holes to put in the covered porch that we tied into our house than it did for her and I, which were the only ones who worked on it, to actually build the entire thing. And so we live on this rock pile. It's really difficult to get through the rocks, so we just try to eke by the best we can. We're so grateful for everyone who has subscribed to our channel, and thanks for watching. I got home the other day and saw a box on my porch, which isn't uncommon because the Amazon guy pretty much lives at my house. But I opened up the box, and this box was inside that box. And inside this box was my little welcome package from the Yanmar people. Gave me a hat, pretty nice light, and a Leatherman. The tractor's been awesome so far, but this is also a nice addition to the purchase.